Hi, this is Kristin Dodds, one of the directors of Learn Real English. I thought I would do an introduction video, such as Joe and AJ, and just tell you a little bit about myself, how I got started teaching English. So, it all began in going to Korea back in 1996. It was my first time ever leaving the country. First time living abroad, obviously, if I'd never even been out of the country. Actually, I went with AJ, and at that point in time, at least for the school that we went to teach at in Seoul, Korea, all you needed was a bachelor's degree. So I had that, but I had no teaching experience. AJ didn't either. We had about a week to get used to our jet lag, and we arrived on a Friday, got thrown into the classroom on Monday. We thought we were going to have some sort of training, and we didn't. So needless to say, we stayed there for about a year. It's a very interesting year. We both were teaching children, so I had kindergarten through 6th grade. And I thought that I was doing okay as a teacher. I later found out, especially with the younger children, the kindergartners, their minds are like little sponges, so they were able to regurgitate, to just kind of spit back or say whatever they were taught. I thought I was doing a good job teaching though, but deep down I did realize that I needed some sort of training. So after the year, AJ and I came back to America. We were living in Georgia, where I grew up, and I got a job teaching adults. And that's when I fully realized, oh, I don't really know anything about teaching, and it was just the children whose minds are like little sponges that were able to just absorb everything so quickly, because I soon found out, teaching adults in Georgia, that I wasn't helping them to improve at all. So that was very frustrating for me. I was trying all different sorts of things, but I really didn't know what I was doing. So I felt that by I just felt like I needed some sort of training. So I decided to take a break from teaching, and I took a 1-month course in Boston, got a TEFL certificate, TEFL and CELTA certificate. And I learned some techniques, which I then went back to Georgia and was able to use, but still I found that my students weren't improving a whole lot. And of course, this whole time I was using textbooks. I was using textbooks in Korea. I was using textbooks in Georgia. So I, still feeling like frustrated, and I just didn't know what I was doing, and I needed more training, decided to get my master's degree. AJ and I actually did this together from a university in Shenandoah. Shenandoah University in Virginia. And from that program, I learned a lot of really cool techniques and cool methods. And I was living in Thailand at the time of getting my master's degree, as was AJ. We were doing it distance learning from the University in America. And I found that when I started teaching in Thailand, I was ready to use these techniques I had learned about, and with the research backing them, they seemed like they would be so effective. And yet, the situation I found myself in Thailand was one that bosses that I had wanted me to teach their way, use their techniques, their textbooks, use their particular way for teaching, which was very, very frustrating to me. I finally felt like I'd found a way to help students improve their English. Shortly, I taught for a little bit in Thailand, and AJ and I actually moved to Japan. I taught for about 2 months in Japan, found the same thing. The school I was teaching at in Japan, they wanted us to use their one method. They thought it was great, which to my knowledge, I wasn't seeing the students improve. moved back to Thailand, taught a little bit more, and became so frustrated with, again, not being able to do the kind of teaching I wanted to do that I thought would be effective. I came back to America. AJ came back to America also. So yeah, ended up in San Francisco, which is where I'm living now. AJ's living. We met Joe and decided, AJ started his business actually, Effortless English, and the three of us started talking about how there's a real need for real conversational English. English that you hear, if you were to come to America, the kind of English you're going to hear on the streets, the kind of English I speak with my friends, slang and idioms. We felt that there was a real need for that. So that's kind of how Learn Real English formed.